Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second episode of ParaTalk. And today I have a former client and now friend, Dawn, back with us today. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hello.
Okay, so I asked Dawn to be on today to talk about a specific subject. It's basically about haunted objects. And the crazy part is, as a kid, my favorite movie was Snow White. So I am calling this Mirror Mirror. We went out to Dawn's home, obviously, because she called us after having some activity in her home. And Dawn, I just kind of want you to get into what exactly the problems were in your house.
Oh, my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should I talk specifically about the mirror?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, we were in Washington at the time, so the mirror was at a U-Haul storage facility. I want to say Everett, Washington, and it was in a pile of here's some free junk. Take it. And so that's how I acquired that giant mirror. And I have to say, it had kind of a menacing vibe to it, but I was still drawn to it. I painted it black, and it stayed, with us, and that was in 2011. Okay, so I had that mirror for all those years. And it came with us back to Texas and into the house we bought. And that house was the most active house I've ever lived in as far as activity. And that mirror, I want to say, saw a lot of things that happened in the house that wasn't quite so good. You know what I'm saying? And there was one experience where my cat had seen something go into the mirror. It was right next to the hallway. And then she went down the hallway and she was looking like, where did this thing go that went through the mirror? So I don't know. I just had a lot of negative energy around that mirror.
Right.
Happened in the house.
Right. And I know when all of this was said and done, all the the investigations is visiting you and everything, you finally decided that you were going to sell the home and move out, correct? Yeah. And when you did, you actually were going to get rid of that mirror. And I remember going over there to your house to do a blessing. And at the time, we were planning our first paranormal symposium. And one of the exhibits we were going to have was a psychomantium. So, of course, we needed mirrors. And you just happened to have that mirror. And we went ahead and took that from you. And I have to say that we took that mirror and put it in our garage. We only had it for 2 days. And those were 2 really, really difficult days. So for those of you who don't believe that objects can hold energy, we took this mirror from her home to ours in the garage, mind you, away from, where we hang out every day. And it was like instant change in the atmosphere at our home. Wayne and I were just at each other's throats. We started fighting. I call it the angry mirror. That's what I call it.
That vibe to it when I picked it up, and I was still so drawn to it, even though I knew there was something wrong,
Yeah. We were at each other's throats. I was just, upset. I was bickering about every little thing. Seriously. I honestly became a total bitch for 2 days, and I had no idea. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't us. It has to be that mirror that we brought, home. And sure enough, I had called one of my other teammates to come and take the mirror to put it into storage. And once that happened, I did a cleansing of the house and everything stopped.
Wow.
So now this is another little story that goes along with the mirror. When we made the Psychomantium, we had several mirrors. We had 5. 2 of them came from you, but one did not have a bad vibe to it. Which I thought, okay, so something positive with the other ones, it'll help keep it from being really bad. The Psychomantium was set up in one of the rooms at the event, and that room had been closed overnight. So the next morning, I saw Wayne go into the room, make sure all the lights were on, everything was fine. He went in the room, came out, and went about his business. So because I had not gone in that room at all the day before, I just chose to stay away from this exhibit completely. Okay. I went in there, was taking pictures with my camera, went to leave, and the door was locked. And I was like, okay, why can't I leave? And I started pushing on it, and nothing. I was literally locked. And that I started freaking out because I was like, I just saw Wayne go in, the door closed behind him, and he came out with no problem. So for me to get stuck in there the way I did, I was like starting to get hysterical. Luckily, I had my phone on me. I was able to call him, and he came back and opened the door. But that shouldn't have happened. And even the maintenance guy said that shouldn't have happened.
That's really smart.
So I was going to ask you, I mean, since the mirror has been gone, it's not a part of your new home. Do you feel better?
Well, I felt immediately better when you took it away from the house. But there was more in that house than just that mirror. Right. But it definitely, I do believe it had a really negative effect on my husband at the time. He went to some real dark places. And I don't think it was necessarily him. I think he was being influenced because he seems so much better now. He seems so much better once he just got out of that house, Right. And I mean, we're divorced and everything now, but
right.
It's I don't know. It's just been better all around better.
Right. But I just wanted to let people know that, because I know people go to antique stores all the time. They go to yard sales all the time. Like you did pick up free stuff that they want to create into something else. And these objects, I've been in enough haunted places, whether it be a home or a public location, to know that objects can hold energy.
Yeah, and they are.
And yeah. Mm-hmm. And that these items should be cleansed somehow.
I saved that mirror so many times, but it didn't seem to really have an effect on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried, like I said, I didn't sage until after the mirror left the home. I wanted to keep the energy in the mirror for the whole Psychomantium. So I didn't mess with it. And it's now sitting in storage, like I said, with a bunch of other mirrors that I don't want to have anything to do with either. But my fear of mirrors has always been, and I think it began with the whole Bloody Mary thing.
Yeah.
As a kid, going into the bathroom, closing the door, saying it, and then to see what happens. I personally have never looked into a mirror wanting to see anything. And I think that's part of it because of the whole Bloody Mary thing. And so I have this horrible fear of mirrors anywhere. But you say you have a lot in your home, so.
Well, I just love them. I feel like they open up the space because it creates this other image, you know, it makes your space feel bigger.
Yeah.
But there was one thing that happened with the mirror with me. This was after my ex-husband left. It was in the dining room. We were sitting there just eating, and I happened to look over in the mirror. I'm going to tell you right now, wasn't drunk, wasn't doing any drugs, nothing, no psychedelics, but my face kind of changed. It like, I don't want to say got older, it just got different. It looked different, like very, like creepy different. And that really freaked me out. So I was like, what? Like, nope.
I've heard of that. I've heard of people saying that their face will morph, kind of.
Yeah. What's up with that? That was not. No.
And I do have to apologize about the camera every now and then kind of gets stuck. I'm just letting everybody know.
It's not so good.
So, what do you recommend, Dawn, for people when purchasing a mirror from any location, from any place?
Well, I would just go ahead.
Do you think I'm crazy for telling people to sage, to cleanse, to?
No, I think that's good for just to do that regularly, because we pick up energies and stuff where we, you know, travel. So I think that cleansing is good anyway. I would say go with your gut, because I had reservations about that mirror, but I was like, it's a big mirror. You always listen to your gut. If something feels off, just trust that. You know.
And you're an artist. So I'm sure you pick up a lot of objects so that you can turn them into something more beautiful and unique. And there are a lot of people out there like that who would pick up, you know, old used items to create something beautiful. But that doesn't necessarily mean it takes away the energy that was attached to it originally.
Yeah. I really don't. I'm at a loss here. Objects are going to hold energy, whether it's positive or negative. You would just have to, I think you'd need to be really in tune with your spiritual side to be able to pick up on those energies. Like you said in the beginning, some people just don't feel anything and they're not affected by it. So I think if you're a sensitive person, you might want to steer clear of stuff.
Which is, you know, and it's funny that you bring that up, because I noticed, I would say about 50% of the families who contact us, there is someone in the house who is sensitive, you know, and it's crazy how many there are out there and they don't even know it. They'll talk about it after we get there. Once we get there, they'll tell us, oh yeah, I've seen stuff all my life. I've, you know, this and that. But it takes, and from my point of view, talking to you, I think it takes a lot for someone to finally pick up the phone and call someone for help in their homes, because they don't want to come off as crazy. They just want validation, right?
Yeah. Well, my son validated that for me when we saw the Shadow Man together, but from two different rooms. We saw the same thing. And so that was enough validation, you know, for me. But yeah, I'm looking at another mirror right now.
Oh.
I have to show you this one, but this one I got from Target. It's from Harry Potter. Check this out. It's the mirror. Now, isn't this awesome?
That is awesome, but you can keep that.
This is my makeup mirror. My makeup mirror.
I'm not fond of them. And the crazy part is, when we were looking for mirrors to bring into the psychomantium, I do have another one that came from a home as well. But one thing that I'm able to do is go into like a Goodwill and actually feel the energy coming off of those objects. And so I kind of just feel out the energy and decide whether or not this is something that will work. And so far so good. So we had a lot of fun with that. Well, I didn't. I really didn't care for it.
How did that psychomantium go? Did you get any feedback about the mirror?
I got feedback about all of them. I mean, just the energy in the room itself. People were telling me that they were seeing people in the mirrors, both men, women, children. They were getting positive and negative energy, depending on which mirror that they were looking at. I mean, we had over 100 people go in there, and some people went more than once.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why anybody would do that.
That confirmation. Did I really just experience that? Let's go check it again.
Right. But I also had some people tell me that they had problems after the event. They would have nightmares for about 2 or 3 days after. Yeah, and that something went home with them. And I totally believe that. I totally believe that. And that's exactly why I don't want to have anything to do with any of that stuff.
Yeah. I was having that yard sale, and I had some serious reservations about just passing that along to somebody, some unwitting, person. So I'm actually really happy that you guys took it, because now it can be in a proper space.
Yeah.
Hopefully staying away from people most of the time. Oh my goodness.
Well, we do have it locked up temporarily. We're not sure if we're going to use it again this next year for our next event, but I will definitely let you know in case you want to visit.
Yeah, I probably would, because me and that mirror, we've got a lot of history.
Yeah, and not good history, so that's too bad.
It's weird because that mirror saw so much interaction in my family, and even though there was some negative stuff, there was a lot of positive stuff too. So I don't know. It's strange.
Well, I can definitely tell you that the negative affected me.
Mm-hmm.
And not knowing you at the time as well as I do now, that's huge for us to feel that much negative energy off of that one object, and I could, it's like I feel bad now, kind of knowing what might have gone on in your home between you and your husband, all the things, because we felt it. We picked up on it. It completely changed my husband's personality. And if it hadn't been for us removing it, it could have really damaged us if we had it in the house for a longer period of time. Yeah. So in that sense, it's crazy how those things can happen. And I just wanted to thank you so much for sharing your story. And I hope that other people take this stuff seriously, because
it's real.
It is real. And thank you so much, Dawn, for talking to me. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye. Hi, everybody. I wanted to end this episode, with another thank you to Dawn for sharing a very private story with the public. The purpose of ParaTalk isn't just for entertainment, but also to educate people on the lasting effects of the paranormal activity that can happen, the things that do happen. We've witnessed so many things over the years. We've experienced things on our own in our own homes, and we're trying to bring that out to let people know this is real. This stuff really happens, and it can hurt families. So if you need to talk to us, you can get a hold of us through our website, whps-ghost.com. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And go back and watch our first episode if you missed it. That way you get to know a little bit about us in each episode as we go along. Let us know if you like it. Leave us a comment. If you have any questions, we'll get to them as soon as we can. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and I hope you're enjoying it.